Happy spring. I pulled my coat back out for this 30-something degree day.
Everything just seemed, life is good.
Thinking about what they are going to miss about being pregnant.
We were kind of just in the groove. We were flowing, being parents, being business owners.
I'm going to need everyone that sees this video to go adopt a dog, because if you guys don't start adopting some of these dogs, I'm going to end up with 20 in my house.
We were in a really good sweet spot.
Let's go to Lowe's. Go Lowe's!
And then everything kind of changed.
I have been in and out of ERs and such since Friday.
I just feel like, chills and the wave of, I think I started like trembling. You just told me I had cancer. Did I hear that right?
Doing something exciting. Leaving the house by myself. What a breath of fresh air.
As I've grown, and especially as I've dealt with adversity, I've learned that you can have both at the same time. You could recognize the bad and still feel the good and the joy and the positive, which I think has been really important to learn. And cancer has been another thing that has taught me that. I have always just kind of been able to turn something to that silver lining, to look for it. Filming my experience and sharing that has been really helpful too, to just kind of talk about, to make it less scary for other people, because I know it can be really daunting.
All the support that I've received, all the kind messages, all the encouragement, prayers, thoughts. I feel like people are pumping me up left and right.
I think my mom instilled in us when we were little to be able to laugh at yourself and to not take yourself too seriously. And I think that has just kind of made me, always find the silver lining or the brighter side, or to help other people feel that. But I will make a joke out of something if it means somebody else is going to laugh.
Guys, in the spirit of the holiday, my sister has cut her hair and donated it to me. So I'm going to show you guys how it looks.
Look at my hair. Look at my hair.
It can bring some positivity and some joy to someone else. And I think I can turn situations into that for myself. I don't know. It's just always kind of been ingrained in me since I was little. My biggest passion, purpose, what I'm doing every single day is I'm a mom and I have 2 small little boys. My husband and I also own a coffee company. So we do events, weddings, corporate events, birthday parties. We basically get to be at people's greatest times and just serving coffee and talking to people in the community. And it's really fun. We were kind of in the sweet spot of postpartum. We were just really soaking up being second-time parents. Any symptom that I was having, I was unaware of because they were all kind of masked as just being a new mom, postpartum, and hormonal changes. So the main symptoms of the cancer that I have are fatigue, night sweats, a fast-growing painless lump in one of the lymph node areas or outside of, in my case, and unexplained weight loss. There was one night where I came back to go to bed after putting my son down, and I told my husband I felt a lump, and I said, "Does this feel weird to you?" Found a lump in my breast, and he was like, "Yeah, that definitely seems like kind of a big lump. Maybe you should, call your doctor and get that checked out." So I'm really glad that people took me seriously when I, showed, hey, I think this is a little abnormal, because I know sometimes people will do that and they'll say, well, let's just watch it for a little bit and see. Once the biopsy came back, of course, and this all happened in like a 2-week span from when I first discovered to finding out. The doctor that did the biopsy called me and he said, your results came back and very interesting, little unexpected. And I was like, okay, go ahead. And he said, we don't have breast cancer. And I was like, that's great news. Thank you. I'm so thrilled. Yeah. And he was like, but you do have cancer. And I was like, I just feel like, chills and the wave of, I think I started like trembling, just thinking like, you just told me I had cancer. Did I hear that right? And he said, you have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's called Diffuse Large B-cell Lymphoma. Do you have any questions? And I was like, well, yes, but I can't think of any of them right now.
I never thought cancer would be a word that I used to describe myself. I never thought it would be a qualifier of mine.
Initially, when I told my husband, he was terrified. The word cancer, he was like, you're going to die. This is the end of everything. This is the worst news. And I was like, okay, wait, let's, being me, I'm like, let's get some more information. We don't know anything yet. We don't even know what lymphoma is. Looking back, I'm just seeing all of these things that set us up for this diagnosis. And yes, we were in a sweet spot, but also we were so set up for this to happen. I bought a house right next door to my mom 4 years ago. So I have help right next door. I just had a baby, which is like the most joyful thing you can see every day. It reminds you that there is good even when bad is happening. They are really keeping me in that mindset of I still need to enjoy every single day despite, the hard stuff. And there are days when I'm tired and anxious and I need to just kind of step away and take a moment. And luckily I have the support system to be able to do so. But most of the time it's a reframe. It's just this constant like flipping in my mind of feeling the anxiety, feeling the sadness from it, but then remembering like, but look what you have right in front of you. This is the perfect example of just feel right here in the moment and, don't let these other things that are going on take over the good parts of life that are happening right now too. Once you hear those words cancer, you're like looking at things so differently. So I'm grateful for it in a really weird way. If you had told me probably a year ago that I was going to lose all my hair, probably would have absolutely lost it, freaked out, just because it, like I said, I've always had the long blonde hair. It's kind of been like, if someone didn't know me, they would say, oh, the girl over there, the long blonde hair. Like you see me in a supermarket, it's me for sure. And so having that in mind, when he told me the first time we met that chemo was the treatment for lymphoma, no matter what stage. So I was prepping myself from the very beginning, but something that actually helped me be okay with the fact that I was going to lose my hair, a lot more so than I thought I would have been. This is so random, but I watched the Great British Baking Show. And this season, the winner had alopecia. And she was open about that throughout the show. And I was just like, okay, she has found the confidence to do this and she looks wonderful. I was still a little emotional when I cut my hair because it's always been really long. It was really short. And then shaving it, obviously, it was a little emotional. And sometimes I still forget that I don't have hair and I'll see myself and I'm like, whoa, that's me. I'm bald. But I think, I don't know, making jokes out of it as well. It definitely has helped as well me process losing it. And I have a wig too that I can wear sometimes that was gifted to me by a really good friend. So I'm thankful to just have been prepped and to have different ways to make me feel best in my body, how it is right now, and to feel confident if I need them to be. So my 2.5-year-old, he always would play with my hair when I would hold him. And he does the same thing with his own hair. He'll like play with it as he falls asleep. It's always how we know that he's getting tired. He'll start playing with his hair. So we were really nervous that he was going to be like look at me like, oh my gosh, who is that? And I think his response was, oh, mommy, you look cute. But when we actually shaved it, he was with my parents and I put a hat on after it was done. So when he saw me for the first time, it wasn't just stark difference. And then he kind of noticed, he was like, mommy, where's your hair? And I said, oh, well, buddy, I'm taking some medicine and it made it all fall out. And he was like, what? Where is it? And I said, it's in the trash. And he was like, oh, is it going to come back? And I was like, someday, yes. And he said, can I see? And I was like, okay, sure. And I took the hat off and I said, do you want to touch my head? And he was like, yeah. And he just kind of rubbed and I was like, isn't that so silly? And he was like, yeah. He's just like so sweet. So he has handled it beautifully. Anytime I'm feeling like down about what's going on, I have a great reminder of happiness and joy and lightness. And, kids keep things so upbeat and they kind of keep you busy enough that a lot of times you're not really thinking about it anyway. But then I had friends and family members being like, you have cancer. Like, this is a big deal. And not everyone, will experience that. That is something that, like, you're tough. I don't think of myself as tough, But I have realized, especially in the past few months, that I am pretty tough, and there is a lot that I can take and a lot that I can handle. And, if I can go through this, there's absolutely nothing that I can't handle. And I think that I have learned that over this amount of time, because I think I downplay who I am and what I do a lot of the time. Like, oh, I'm just a mom. Oh, I don't work. I just stay home. Or I just help my husband with his business. Or, I just this, that, and the other. And I think dealing with something like this and just thinking that I'm doing the normal thing of just, okay, this is what happened. I'm going to face it head on and keep being, positive, whatever. I didn't realize that was that I was doing something kind of different here, or that I was kind of taking such a positive take on it.
If this video was meaningful for you, we've queued up another video here, a playlist here, and make sure you subscribe. Thank you for being a part of the Patient Story community. You're not alone.